Hello everyone. Thank you everyone joining today OTEA. And here talking bars have a link in. Everyone can see there to check about today the PowerPoint. Okay. We today very happy invite David in with us. It's working have taken him from Taiwan, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and the US. Now then everyone to welcome David to share his journey. So please, David, you can start your speaking. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm not so sure your time zone, okay, but I really appreciate OTEA inviting me to this forum, okay. So the topic in my presentation is from date to decisions, lessons from delivering complex brownfield real project. It's mainly for what is my job, what am I doing, and what's my day-to-day life. But today I do not want to only talk about my job. I want to talk about my history, my career, and how did I move in the past. Because I think most of you, maybe you guys are interested about this more than the job. Okay, so I will share my day-to-day work, and other than this, talk about how did I move in the past. And later on, if you are interested about any question, you have any curiosity, you want to talk about how do I get a work permit between countries, and how did I move, how did I negotiate, salary, etc. Feel free. Okay, and anyway, thank you for the invitation today. And before I start, this presentation I made is on behalf of myself, okay, and not represent my current employer and my past employers. And there's a QR code. Okay, this QR code is a application. Okay, you guys can use your mobile to scan, and it's a app so-called Slido. So what's this? If you want to ask question, okay, but you want to keep anonymous, you can download this and put your question whenever in the middle. Okay, whatever question you would like to ask. If you don't want to disclose your name, you can ask your question here, and I will receive your question from my mobile, from my cell phone, and could answer whatever question you are interested. Okay, if you do not want to disclose your name. Okay, if you got your form, okay, scan this right now. And don't worry, I will not disclose the name. I will not even know your name. I'll give you guys like 10 seconds, 15 seconds if you have not done. And if you do not mind, you could also leave the question in the chat, or maybe just talk. Okay, if you are comfortable. And so anyway, we have so many options. Leave the question in the chat, or answer the question from the app, or just ask me. Okay, raise your hand. You can cut me off anytime. Okay, I'm okay to have some free discussion in the middle. So I made a map. And let's try to talk about what did I do in my last 15 years after I graduated from Taiwan. I studied basically in Taiwan. Okay, I graduated from Cheng Kung University, civil engineering, and also civil engineering in Taiwan University in Taiwan, in Taipei, Taiwan. And after I graduated, I went to national service. Okay, so and later on, I also study MBA when I was moving to New York, Rochester, New York. Okay, it was a surprise. I will let you know why. I was not planning to do this, but I got the scholarship. I will share with you why did I have this surprise journey. And from left hand side, you could see a vertical timeline. Okay, there's a multiple positions, company, and the year. what did I do, which company, which time slot, and where am I now. So when I graduate, okay, I went to army. Okay, I went to army. I was doing the national service in Pindong. Pindong, I was a parachuter. And after I retired from army, I joined a company. Maybe you guys know, it's a CTCI. And my first project was relocated. I was assigned to a project in Sabah, Malaysia. It was a power plant. I was doing a project control. So what's project control? That's what I'm going. It's a little bit related to what I'm doing. And so and after I did I wa I complete not complete. I did the project work for 1 or 2 years. I I had an ambition, okay, in the past, because I would like to learn how does those foreign company like Siemens, Alstom, or Japanese company, European company, American company, how did they do the work? I I never had the chance to learn or mentorship how did the foreigners, okay, do the work, or how do they think. And when I was in Malaysia, I got a phone call, I got an email by Siemens, by the recruiter. They were inviting me. Okay, am I interested? They look my background. Okay, I was project controller before, and am I interested to join Siemens and back to Taiwan? They were building Taoyuan Metro, the airport MRT between Taiwan and the Taoyuan and the airport today. So I was very excited because I never had the chance to go abroad to study, to get a degree, okay, in out of Taiwan. I was excited. There was a very good opportunity for me to work with foreigners, and I want to see. Okay, there was a German company. I want to see how do they work. I want to understand their mindset, what's their process, and how do they organize the work. That's why I decided to move. I decided to leave, and it was a tough decision. It was a tough decision, but I was very happy to make this decision because I really learned a lot, and so that gave me the first jump. I came back from Malaysia back to Siemens and was performing my role was a planning engineer. And when I complete this position, like 1 or 2 years, our project was going to the end. Our project director was asking everybody, are you interested to further mobilize or do or any other project globally within Siemens? I was happy. I was proactively to ask. I'm interested for any location, and project director gave us some options: Singapore, Europe, and Hong Kong. And I I I I just want to go leave Taiwan. It's not because I hate Taiwan. It's just very simple. I would like to experience how was the life, how does the life to live abroad. And so Hong Kong came first. That's why I came to Hong Kong. So then I moved to Hong Kong, Siemens Hong Kong. And also that's my first time to be promoted to become a people manager. I had a team before, since then, like 10 years ago. So the journey was also tough. Every journey was a challenge. And when I went to Hong Kong, I have a language barrier, cultural barrier. I was still too young, too junior. Even I'm the fast learner. It's still many challenge, and I need to manage a team. And the members of your team, some of them, their seniority may be older than you. Some of them, maybe they are as young as me. So it's very tough. I have a lot of challenge. I was going there alone, and so I didn't really have any family. So every day I went back after work. I was actually quite alone. It was very tough. Okay, and actually I was about to give up. Even I get paid well, but I didn't feel I belong there, and I did not have a family. So it's not because I did not like the job. I like the job, but I did not feel I belong there. So I was thinking to leave. And I discussed with my girlfriend, who is become my wife now. Okay, back then about this situation, and she was very supportive, and she was asking me how about. She told me she could relocate to Hong Kong with me together. Let's live there together, and that made really a very big difference. Because when I went back, when you wherever location you are working, okay, you go back to your home. When you open the door, you see your family inside. That's very different. So that's really the important factor for everybody. Okay, I think not only for me, for everybody. You want to stay abroad for long run. You want to stay. You need the support from your family. Wherever is your family, wherever is your basic, most important others, like your children, your husband or wife or your spouse. You knock the door. You open the door after work. They are there. That's the best support to help you to stay for to develop your career. So that's how I survived to stay in Hong Kong. And after Hong Kong, I start to I did not even have a chance to go back to Taiwan. Yeah, and I still miss Taiwan a lot. Okay, but that was really a factor. Okay, since Hong Kong, and I I switched another company. Okay, but become multiple years overseas career development. I was becoming a planning manager in another French company, Alstom, and I got the chance move from Alstom Hong Kong to Alstom the US. Okay, so I was staying in Alstom Hong Kong about 4 years, and I could also share some experience. How did I go to the States? Okay, how did I get a work permit? Okay, work permit or work visa, and the Alstom helped me to relocate from Alstom Hong Kong to Alstom US. Okay, it was a very laborious, very time-consuming process, and to get the work visa, but it was a successful. Okay, I really appreciate. So in total, I stay in Hong Kong like 4 or 5 years, and in New York. When I was in Alstom US, I was in the East Coast. East Coast, okay, until 2024. And I moved, I left Alstom in 2024 and joined Hitachi. That's the moment I relocated to current place near San Francisco. Okay, we normally people call it Bay Area. Okay, it's the west coast of the United States. So follow the map here. Okay, you can see here. I start from Taiwan. Then I move to Malaysia, East Malaysia. West Malaysia is Kuala Lumpur. My project was in East Malaysia. Okay, it's Sabah. It's somewhere nobody was there. Okay, and their facilities usually shut down every single day in my apartment. Okay, I had the internet issue. I had the gasoline. I had a power issue. I had a water issue every day. Either power was shut down, no power. Either water was shut down. Either internet or whatever was shut down. So it was a very remote area. I was walking in the jungle, but I enjoyed. But I still decided to leave is because I really want to learn how those foreign company work. Okay, so I moved to Malaysia and I came back to Taiwan. Okay, for the Siemens Taiwan job, and I went to Hong Kong. After Hong Kong, you can see I fly long away to East Coast, Rochester, New York. It's upper state, New York State. Then 2024, I moved to where am I today? Okay, Bay Area. Okay, and about the school, I mentioned earlier, I had a degree MBA in university. I got it in University of Rochester. It was not on my plan. It's because when I was moving to New York, my neighbor is he and she they are Taiwanese. Okay, they are very senior already, 80 something years old. They told me a lot of information and they encouraged me. Okay, David, there's a school. Okay, just near downtown, and their MBA is good. Everybody can get the scholarship, and I was very excited. I was excited because I never had the chance to study abroad. And my stereotype think to have a overseas degree should be a plus, should be added value to my career. And so I was trying to contact the HR in the school. and they told me, they recommended me, they told me there's a game they can play. If you are the winner, you win the game, you can get a 100% scholarship, which means you can study and get a degree for free. Okay, it's like a 100 or 120,000 US dollars. Okay, in total, about 20 months program. And so I was excited about this, and I did not anticipate I would win because actually, what my English wasn't so well in the past. I really spent a lot of time trying to polish. And the game, I also encourage, I want to share with you guys about this. Okay, if you also have some ambition, you want to study, okay, but you also had some tough situation like myself. I had no money, okay. I still do not have money today, but there's a lot of resources. You can, and there's a lot of school, everything can be negotiated. You can contact them, okay, are able to offer more scholarship. And the beauty of this school is they have a game you can play. The game is you and your competitors, like 2030. Everybody wants to get a scholarship. You join the game, and you guys open a company, a bicycle company. Okay, I'm not sure today what the company they're operating, but you open a company just like you are the owner, you are the manager, you are the manager of the bicycle company. You need to set up it's a website. You need to set up a lot of value or parameters. Okay, and what's your salary for your labor? How many people you would like to hire? How many equipment? What's your location of your office globally? You want to set up the office in New York or Brazil, India, etc. Okay, you set up in India. The cost maybe is cheapest, but your selling price is also cheap. You sell in New York, okay, it's very expensive, but your customer, they are also willing to pay more. And now, wait a minute. Sorry, I'm back. My son they were shouting behind me. And so it's a game. Okay, you need to set up. It's a simulation. It's just exactly like you are the owner of a company, and whatever decision you are making in the game, it would affect how much money you make for the business. Okay, so it has several rounds. Okay, I can share more detail. Okay, but long story short, if you win the game, and then you need to make a presentation to the board of the school, of the department, okay, to explain what was your strategy and how did I win this game. Okay, and the chosen one would be given the scholarship, and I was lucky. I was lucky to get the scholarship. Okay, that's how I get there. I can share more information about this if you are interested. Okay, but that's basically my history in the last 15 years in my life. Now I want to talk about my work. What do I do? Okay, my job, my title. Okay, I always tell people title is not important. Okay, but my title, project planner, project scheduler, or whatever you want to call it, and or project controller. It's very similar, but a little bit different. Um, but it's just my whole essential function is to build a schedule. Okay, build a schedule. So build a schedule looks like a very easy. Even you do not do a project, you still in your day-to-day life, you go to Japan or you travel to wherever, you go to South Korea, States, Europe, you need to build a schedule. Everybody can build a schedule, but in my industry, we build infrastructure. I built a power plant before, railway before, and now railway for system. The life cycle is more than 5, 10 years, and I like the most complicated project, large scale of the project. So it's very complex, very complex. Somebody to define what has to happen in the first month, second month, third month. There is a sequence, okay? And in long run, 10 years, what should happen every single month? 10 years, it's a 120 months, okay? Who do first, who do later, okay? And you want to have this make sense because everybody wants to have the cheapest cost to deliver the project. So you do not want to hire 400 people from day one. You just want to hire the sufficient people. Okay, maybe just 10 people in the first 3 months. They complete some job and mobilize another 20 people, etc. progressively. Try to utilize, okay, based on the schedule to simulate your resources curve. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, I build the schedule and I need to load a lot of data, load the money, load the people, load the labor, load the equipment, try to simulate, make the schedule just like a movie. So when people they read the schedule, I'm able to tell them this project, okay, and it just make them like they are hearing a movie, they are watching a movie from me. So that's what I do. What I say is very simple, but if you want to do it well, it's very complex. Okay, so everyone can build a schedule, and if you are interested to start, okay, we have a lot of in the industry, a lot of schedule software. Maybe you heard that before. Microsoft Project, Oracle, Primavera P6, they are very common. To as a start to use those schedule software is very easy. But how to make the schedule performable, achievable, people are able to follow, people are willing to read, people are able to commit it to. It's not easy. It's a communication. Okay, and how do you make something make sense? I'm civil engineering background, so in theory I should only know civil. I know nothing else. But a lot of infrastructure project they involve every single department, involve like a mechanical, electrical, civil, financial, law, and everything you can think about, power, chemical, or system. So you need to do a lot of things. But how an individual like myself, with a civil background only, is able to understand everything and make something make sense? Okay, so that's something fun. I really think funny. I really think funny, and actually we are able to do. I'm able to do more than I thought. So to do this role, I do not really need to know, okay, how to design the electrical drawing or mechanical drawing. I do not. I'm civil engineering graduated from school, but actually I don't know how to design civil drawing or any building. But what I know is the sequence. What's their ecosystem for everybody. Okay. So every day, actually, my day-to-day job is I'm talking. I'm talking. Yeah, I'm not free talking. I'm not just chatting or gossiping. I'm talking to people to understand, hey, what's your day-to-day job? What's your process? Okay. You want to build a building. You want to purchase a cable. You want to design a power. You want to manufacture a car, vehicle, or whatever. What's your process? How did we make it? So I keep talk. Okay. When I talk, actually I'm asking questions. I keep asking questions. So I asking millions of questions since my day one of the career. I didn't do it that well, very well today. Because to ask the right question at the right moment is not that easy. Okay, but this is actually essentially it's the core skill of this role. Okay, you ask the right question, then you start to understand how a project, okay, is happening. How did we build? How did we build a building? How did we build a system? How did we build a rocket? How did we build a Tesla? Okay, so it's possible. It's totally possible. I'm not graduating from electrical engineering, but I know what's their process to develop electrical engineering. So I build a lot of flow chart. Okay, try to integrate everybody. Okay, and then make it visualize in the schedule. So that's my day-to-day job. Okay, I talk, I ask people, and so the importance to perform this role well is really your personality, and you need to be open mind. You need to willing to ask questions, willing to make friends, and uh, language. Yeah, language was a concern in my earlier of the career, but today I still have concern, but not too much concern. Language, but don't be afraid about language. I want to let you know. I could share with you. Okay, when I was moving to Malaysia, it really sucks. Okay, my first task. was writing the meeting minutes, okay, for about more than people in the room. I had no idea what they are talking about because the language barrier, technical barrier, I did not know a lot of technical terminology. Okay, so it was really suffer in the past, but it was a very good training for me. So this can be training, can be trained. Okay, so it's a hundreds of talks, millions or hundreds, thousands of the conversations to polish my skill. Okay, make myself better to where am I today. And so my principle is to make the schedules okay performable and like a real life, like a movie. Okay, let people able to visualize. And some of you maybe you read the schedule before, and when I process the when I build the schedule, when after I build the schedule, you can see a lot of data, a lot of line items, etc. Very confused. Okay, so you also need the skill. How do you communicate? Okay, communication is not only English. English is a minimum. Okay, even I have accent. You do not need to worry about accent. I have accent. I can get a scholarship. I have accent. I can go abroad. Okay, and then no issue. I can maybe I would have some career loop at one day at some point. But I want to let you know, communication is different to language. Language is as long as you are willing, you don't be shy and you are not afraid to ask questions, just talk to people, then you are already successful from the step one. Communication is okay. Now I have a very complex schedule. How do I ensure I convey the right message, the message I want them to understand? Okay, so it's a very different skill. So I need to convert those very complex data and the Gantt chart or schedule into something which is readable, understandable by the humans. Okay, because when in a meeting, okay, there are a bunch of people in the meeting. You are the one to deal with all the complexity in the lowest level every single day, but not for them. So I need to use the shortest time to explain to them what's our problem. Okay, what do we try? Why are we trying to achieve? And what's our situation today? Okay, so that's communication. Okay, it's a little bit different to language. And if you want to develop your career to be the excellent level, you need both. Okay, I'm not there yet. I'm still making effort to become there. So to perform the role, my role to do it well, in my view, okay, movement, how people, I need to understand how people and the equipment move through the project site. Okay, because when I build the schedule, what people and what management is interested is how will we burn money? What's the cash flow, cash in, cash out? How do we burn money, and when do we get payment? That's the number one they are interested. And how do we mobilize the team? How many people we need to mobilize? What's the skill set they need to that we need? Are they the installation? Are they testing? What kind of testing, what kind of installation, what kind of designer we need to go to factory, and how many, what kind of equipment we need to buy, what's the critical equipment, and when do we need to buy, when do we need to rent, how much we need to rent, how long we need to rent, etc. Everything you need to have a vision. Okay, when you build the schedule, you would have a vision. Okay, how does those resources move? Okay, and second one, resources. How those money flow materials are consumed. You have 10,000 meter cables. How do we consume those material? Yeah, 10,000 meters. Think about it. You put it in a warehouse. You have a warehouse. It's money. Okay. You put those cable, idle the cable without installation at the field. You are burning your money to store those cable. Okay. So how do does you so I also need to take care of the material consumption rate. And if we have any event, okay, for example, whatever maybe labor strike down today, what's the impact for short term? What's the impact for long term? And in my project, in the infrastructure project, maybe a lot of you guys had experience before. Your customer wants to change something, okay, because they did not anticipate when they give you the job, they keep change. And how do you check the change? How do you tell them your impact? How do you make a good claim? How do you tell them it's out of your scope and you need another 3 months and another 500,000? How do you tell them? Okay, so that's all what I'm doing in my day-to-day job. So I mentioned a little bit about this earlier. To perform this job, essentially, there are two different kinds of skills. The first one is technical capabilities, okay, which for me, I think it is simpler. Learning the tools, okay, scheduling software, Microsoft project, P6, or whatever tool you want to use. That's the simplest. A lot of people think to become a project planner, project scheduler, or it's just data entry. Okay, you are asking the people to give you the data, you input to the schedule software, that's it. Okay, yes, you are not wrong. But this is only make you become the beginning planner. If you want to become an advanced planner, advanced project planner, or strategic planner, you need to think ahead. Okay, you need to guide the people. You need to lead those people. You need to ask a lot of questions, observe something, look ahead something, see something in advance of the people, and initiate the discussion to tell them we are encountering the issue in 3 months, in 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years. We have time. We need to solve the problem right now, okay? Because time is money. The later you face the problem, you make an action, the more expensive, okay? Which is the point I want to say in the second point, strategic thinking. Okay, you want to become advanced project scheduler or project planner, project control, then you need to understand, really understand what's the sequence, what's the workflow from everybody, from their ecosystem. Okay, very different for everybody. What's their own constraint and what's the interaction, what's their dependency, who is doing what. Okay, people A complete this task tomorrow, so people B can start tomorrow, the day after, and take 1 week. People C take over after that, etc. There's a sequence. When you have hundreds of people, thousands of people, things become very complicated. Yeah. Why this role is different? Um, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I do not need to, I'm not the one to do the design, to do the installation, to go to the factory, to do the factory testing. I'm not the one to be in the field, but I need to understand everybody's ecosystem. Okay, so I'm not doing execution. Okay, I'm trying to integrate a team. Okay, so you see the workload to integrate a team is sufficient enough to become a role, become a full-time job, which is project planner. Okay, also the project management role. Okay, and recent depths. So that's also very similar concept I mentioned earlier. I don't need to become an expert in every discipline, every department, but you keep ask question, you in the end you understand everything, and you are still able to make something make sense to trigger the meaningful discussion. And system thinking, my value from the understanding to all the ecosystem. Okay, that's really very important. So I think a lot of you guys maybe are also a project manager's role. So I'm also sure to become a good project manager, you also need to understand everybody's pains. Okay, so the skill between the project planner and the project managers are very similar. So a lot of project planners in the end their career pace, okay, they naturally move to project manager. Yeah. So I hope you have some very basic understanding about my role. Okay, so when you see in the future project planner or scheduler what they are doing, okay, that's what they are doing. And now I want to talk a little bit about my industry. Yeah, it could be very complicated. Okay, so I would not talk about too much detail. Yeah, and most of my work in the past, in my second slide or third slide, you saw a lot of companies, but most of project I did is railway infrastructure projects. Okay, and specifically is the system project. Okay, because railway, there are a lot of different domains. Railway, we can say, okay, the track, who is building the track on the rail? Okay, and who is building the civil? Who is building the concrete or the building or the or whatever system? Okay, what I'm very good. My specialty is to build the train control system. We call it signaling. in our industry. Okay, and even further is I'm very good in upgrading the chain control system when the chain control system is operating daytime. Okay, think about it. What's this? Um, some of you may be from Taipei or Taichung or Taoyuan, Kaohsiung. Okay, we are lucky. We have MRT. We have metro. You can take a metro to your office, to your school, to wherever to see your best friends or your best others, most important others. So in the daytime, okay, those metro, they are operating from maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then the last train maybe in the midnight, 1 o'clock. Okay, but the so daytime in actually a lot of contractor they are not able to work. Okay, but those system like the one in Taipei is already 30, 40 years old. Those system built many years ago to today, maybe they are too old. Think about your mobile. Okay, in the past, maybe in the past I used Nokia. Okay, CC10, CC10, and today we have iPhone. I'm using iPhone. So does for the metro system. In the past, okay, we have at least one system, but today we have more and more passengers. The demand increase, so we need a new system in order to have a. When you wait for the train, you don't need to wait for 5 minutes anymore. Maybe wait for 2 minutes. So this system needs to upgrade. But in the daytime, the system is operating. Is how do we upgrade? So there's a constraint. The supplier, the contractor, they can only work like depending on the which customer and which where, okay, and which country. Like in Hong Kong, what I experience is every night they can only work in the nighttime most of the case, and then every night just like 2 hours, 2 hours you can work from maybe 2 o'clock in the midnight, and then you need to finish at like 4 o'clock. And because of the first chain, they need to start from 5:30. So time is constrained. Even your team, even the company, they can only work for 2 hours. When they pay the money to those supervisors, engineers, and the labor, they still pay 8 hours. So how to the time becomes the constraint, okay? And why do I need to mention this? Okay, so that's the concept I want to introduce to you guys. This terminology, maybe you can keep this in your mind because you might see this in the future again. Greenfield and the brownfield. So greenfield is most of the project you saw before in Taiwan. Okay, so what's this? This is a start from a brand new project, brand new railway. Okay, it was not there. It was not there. We are going to build a new thing. Okay, that's a greenfield project. So what's a brownfield project? Brownfield project is the the infrastructure. They are there already. Okay, they are there already, but we need to upgrade. We need to do something new. Okay, so that's a brownfield project already exists. So what I'm very good is I'm good to do those brownfield project. Okay, while the infrastructure is still operating and upgrade, how do we upgrade to the new system? Okay, so I mentioned a little bit just now about the time, only 2 hours per night in general. Okay, we call it the time, we call it access. Okay, limited access window every single day. And we also what else? What constraint? What's the difficulty? Also space constraint because you have an existing system already. So you're building your equipment room and all of your space, or like the train you are taking, a lot of space. They have no space. They have no space because they already have a lot of existing equipment. So there is a space constraint. How do you and then now you are going to build a new system. How do you install a new equipment, new system, okay, from the existing space? That's another challenge. That's the space constraint in the brownfield project. Okay, and the operational interface. That's what I said earlier. We have only limited time every single day. Okay, so that's constraint number one. Constraint number two is other than the 2 hours, sometimes some specific task Okay, it's not even these 2 hours. It's not able to finish because some of the tasks, the area can become very big. Maybe we need to occupy we need to shut down the whole metro for 3 days, something like that. So, but no customer, no metro, they would allow us to shut down the whole line for even just 1 day. Think about it. If today Taipei Metro tell you, hey, let's we need to shut down the whole Taipei Metro for 3 days or 1 day. How do you feel? How do you commute tomorrow? Okay, so we need to have a lot of a discussion with our operational department. Okay, how do they operate and can they change these in order to give us some space, time, and to do some construction. And this is more for the specific staging and system cutover is more specific terminology in our industry. Okay, so it's we have actually the real train control system. Okay, looks just one system, but actually it's more than 20, 30, 40 subsystems. Okay, so how do we, and when we upgrade the new system, it's not just upgrade one system, it's a step by step. Okay, we do which subsystem first, then step by step, and then consider a lot of conditions, and progressively take a while to make everything new. Okay, in multiple years. So actually, it's very complicated in the detail. Okay, but give you some concept about it. Greenfield project, brownfield project, and the industry where am I? And I want to share with you about more for the industry. Our industry, I would say, is big, but it's also quite small. The reason is big because the market value is a lot. Every country, every region, they need railway, they need transportation, they need transit, and they need they need like a freight and mining. A lot of countries they carry the cargoes, containers by rail. Okay, so a lot of demand everywhere in the world. Every country they need this. But those people to build a railway, actually, we always say the industry is small. We always see our friends. Okay, even I complete a project in Hong Kong. I still see my former co-workers and colleagues in when I was in New York. So it's very small industry. Okay, a lot of market value, but you still see a lot of familiar faces, and a lot of people and my co-workers they are like myself. Wherever is a project, wherever we are moving. Yeah, so we have a more mobile teams. Our life is very mobile, and cultural fluency. People are from everywhere, wherever is a project, wherever we are working. So your colleagues, okay, the diversity of the culture, they could come from everywhere, come from UK, from German, from Brazil, India, China, from Middle East, Africa, etc. So I made a lot of friends, and there's also another thing I was developing. Okay, because I mentioned about language and the communication earlier. Sometimes don't underestimate your English because your coworker maybe he or she may be also foreigner. Their English may not be even better than you, and you have different culture, different language, their native language, the way they are thinking may be different. So how do we communicate? Okay, in this very diverse culture is also a challenge. Okay, so that's also I can share some more detail. Okay, but that's my day-to-day life about the industry. So I'm about to be the end. Okay, so over time I realized the expertise. Okay, that I mentioned a little bit earlier about this. The expertise, the skill is not enough. Okay, so to really do the job well, I need to understand culture, communication, language, and my personality. I need to be open-minded, talk to people, and the value of the planning is really how do I generate a meaningful information. Okay, everybody can have a data, but I usually see we have a lot of data, but we have no information. So I'm trying to make what I'm always think what message I want to convey. Okay, what a bunch of this data, 1,000 pages Excel and those data sheet. What's the information I want to tell people when I only have 30 minutes, and what problem I want them to brainstorm or solve together. Okay, so that's also part of the communication. Okay, communication is not only language, it's not English. Okay, it's the way you are talking to people. Yeah, and you throw a ball to them. Do they catch your ball? Do they understand what you mean? And when they throw the ball back to you, do you get his point, his or her point? It's all about understand each other. And a lot of our problem actually is not because we do not understand how to do civil, how to do electrical, how to do signal. It's because of the communication. We do not understand each other. So it's worth for you guys, everybody really slow down. Okay, understand each other, make sure we align before we go too far. Okay, that's most productive, most efficient. Okay, that's the last slide. I want to take some final note. Working internationally can be rewarding. Maybe a lot of people they think mm, at least in my experience, they may be jealous about where I'm living today, etc. But I also want to let you know I also suffer a lot. Yes, maybe if we check the gross salary or etc. It looks like we make more than those people. But you think about it, the cost is I wasn't able to meet my parents or family, relatives or classmates uh, every day, every week. Maybe I only saw them once a year or every 2 years. I sacrifice a lot. I I did not have a chance to become a line manager or planning manager if I did not go to Hong Kong. I did not even have a chance to develop or get my degree if I did not move to New York. If I'm staying in Taiwan, maybe I'm nobody. And even I move abroad, I'm still nobody. Okay, but if you are willing to leave the island, okay, you could have more opportunities. But I want to make a point. Taiwan is still very good. Okay, I'm sure, and I was also given an offer, very good offer to work in Taiwan, very good offer. But I still did not go back due to my family issues. Okay, I really love Taiwan. I'm not working for money. I hope one day when my family is ready, I can still um, contribute my experience and knowledge back to Taiwan to help the industry. Okay, because when I was working in uh, Siemens Taiwan, okay, I saw a lot of things, and actually I feel painful. It's not because I did not know how to do the job. It's because I see our taxpayers. We pay tax every year, but we pay plenty of taxes, and it took so long to finish one major. Okay, for us to took one major because of a lot of issue, and it's all the taxes. Okay, all the tax paid by Taiwanese, and those money are reasonably taken by the foreigners, foreign company. They entitled to do this. Okay, after I figure out they are legally entitled to do this. So I want to make a Taiwanese this industry stronger, and in one day we can build our own thing. We have our own knowledge. We do not need to import their skill or rely on foreign company. We can build everything, and we can export. We can export our value to the world. Okay, so that's my vision. Okay, so I hope I still have the vision and ambition. I hope one day I could still come back to contribute what I learned. Maybe it's still not a lot, but I still have this mission in my mind. Okay. Okay. So eventually, my family and I decide, yeah, let's move together. Wherever we go together. That's not only I go somewhere and then I stay in Taiwan. Okay. We go together like a team. And if we want to go back to Taiwan or go somewhere else, let's go together. Okay, wherever is your family, wherever is your home. That's all my presentation. Thank you, everybody. And feel free to ask questions, scan the barcode, and I'll check does anyone have question. And Redman, you on the mean, do you want to say anything?
All right. Thank you. You're amazing speaker. And thank you today share the information. So let everyone to say some Q&A on the talking bus. And or everyone want to take your hand to ask us some question.
I already have some question in the
Yes,
chat. I will answer one by one. Okay, let me check.
about talking
In
bus.
in the in the app, no question. Okay, but so I'll check the chat.
Okay.
So Oliver, you have question. I have a question. What is a program manager's definition of a program when you were working in Hong Kong? So program manager in Hong Kong when I did, it's like a scheduling manager, schedule manager, or planning manager. Yeah. So basically, yeah, develop the schedule facing customer and explain uh, how the schedule was developed in that way and what we are facing in the future. Yeah, so it's like a scheduling manager in Hong Kong when I was doing this role.
Hello, David and Oliver. Can I
Yeah.
ask, because normally program means like more than one project. So does this mean when you're working in Hong Kong, you managing the only single project, maybe like the more than one project and with your management together, right?
I did 3 projects. Okay, but the terminology for the UK term for the Hong Kong because they were part of a British colony before. Uh, they the terminology program for land. Okay, almost equal to schedule. Okay, not necessary to mean multiple projects. But I did manage 3 projects when I was there. 3 projects when I was in that role in Siemens Hong Kong. Yeah. But one
Mm.
program could also mean one schedule. Could also mean one project.
Mm. Okay, okay, understand. Can I also ask you a question? Because I was the planner before. Like when you're doing the schedule in like the railway transportation industry, not do you also need to update your schedule in the commissioning period? Because I heard my friend, he also work in Siemens. Yeah, because normally in the semiconductor industry, the commissioning time is very limited, maybe 1 month or 2 months. So normally we control by the Excel.
I need to update. I need to update. It's a science, okay? It's not just data entry because the schedule, okay, like commissioning schedule. People, what I see a lot, people intend to make a date, whatever day. They don't know how do we get a date. Let's say they make a day. The testing needs to finish. Let's say June 2026, 5 months from now. But they don't know are we able to achieve. Okay, so actually, what we need to do to a science work is really to understand what's the workload, what's the effort, okay, to do the testing, to do every single work. We need to really do the science, take over all the quantities, effort, and understand the sequence to validate. Are we able to follow this sequence? Task 1, task 2, task 3, and convert the effort and the team size to the duration. Are we able to finish the testing in June 2026? So this is a science. Okay, so but people in I saw a lot. They really like to just judge a date without even validating from the schedule by the normal way of working to develop a schedule to check are we able to achieve. Okay, so that's why a lot of the schedule actually in the end becomes a problem because they intend to just make a day. Okay, everybody just work against the day, but they did not validate, they did not integrate, they did not interview every single body about their detail. And are we able to hit it? Okay, so there's a science, more detail. That's my day-to-day job. Okay, so it's so I hope it answer your question. Okay, it's not only Excel, it could also be validated through the scheduling software or whatever tool to help us to get there.
Okay, okay, understand.
And you have more questions. Brownfield, greenfield can be applied to any construction project. Yeah, it's not only railway. Any project, if it's brand new, you can always call it greenfield. If it's a modification, current system is working, you need to upgrade, you can call it brownfield. Okay, so I think this terminology is quite generic. You can use everywhere. And Jiling Wang, someone recently joined railway industry. I can confirm that. People come from different companies, either meet each other before. Oh yes, so this industry railway very small. Okay, I always saw my old colleagues everywhere. Small world, small, big industry, big pie, big money, but small world. Always the similar people are doing the project. And admin, you are helping Taiwan by giving a presentation today. Thank you. Yes, that's my honor. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. And Yu Tin Chen, what is the suggestion for new civil engineers who want to transition into a different field, doing design work, for example, from facility field construction into civil transportation? Okay, so this is two questions. Okay, I'll answer one by one. Suggestion for the new civil engineer. I would say follow your mind. If you do not like construction, you can like a design. You need to ask yourself, do you like a design? Do you like a construction? Or maybe you do not even like this industry. Follow your mind. You like it, you just go ahead. Because this is your motivation. If you force yourself to do something you do not like, in the end, maybe you will just give up. You need to have some motivation to support you. So ask yourself, okay, what do you like? You want to become, in construction, not only design the construction. In the civil industry, not only design and construction. So many different departments, so many different divisions. You can also do finance. You can also, like myself, to do schedule, project control, project manager, and you could also a lot of different roles. Ask yourself what do you like, and go ahead to wherever you like. If you do not really like, okay, it's not guilty to give up. Yeah, I want to share one more story from my wife. My wife also joined CTCI when she graduated. Okay, the day she was on board is also the day she quit. Okay, because the day she was on board, and the supervisor, her manager, HR, asked her, told her the job description, etc. What's her day-to-day job? What's the expectation in the future? And she was thinking when she went home, that's not what she wants. So she quit immediately on the same day. And and today I think she is also doing well. She is moving to software engineering industry. She's writing the code, some code which I never understood. Okay, but I want to also share. Even I don't understand how to write the code, but I understand the process. Okay, how did she write this? What's the algorithm? Okay, and etc. So I still ask her the question, but no harm to give up. Okay, you don't like it, and if you think that's not what you want, just you can change the route. Okay, timing is most important. Okay, in your whole life, maybe your whole career, maybe just 30 or 40 years. If you don't believe you have motivation to stay there for long, it was myself, I would just switch the route to what I believe I'm able to develop longer. But I'm not, I could be wrong. Okay, that's what I think. Okay, so I encourage to do something you are at least you have some interest. Yeah. And since here in the US, when applying for a position, the hiring manager always asks, do you have a relative experience? Okay, so if you want to come to the US, the most important is do you have experience or not? The always question number one is, do you need the visa sponsorship to work in the United States? If you say yes, then likely you are out. So because it's the effort to help people apply for the US visa is very difficult. Work visa, very difficult. Okay, so if you have work visa, then it's okay. You it's okay. Then it's easier than anybody else, but still not easy. Okay, and do you have relative experience? I suggest you try to be honest. If you do not have, you just say you do not have. And especially in the US, US is a country people do not like tend to believe tend to like people be honest. If you make a small lie, you may need to make more lies to cover your lies. Okay, so your basic strategy, be transparent, be honest. Okay, even you said I made a mistake, I was wrong, that's no harm. No harm to say I'm wrong. Okay, because that's the cheapest cost to fix the mistake together. Okay, so be transparent, no experience is okay. I could also tell one story. Before I joined Siemens Taiwan, actually I almost did not get the job. Okay, and I received an email from my hiring manager. He was sending an email to HR, but he sent to the wrong person. He sent to me. He was about to tell HR, "Hey, don't hire David. He's not the person we want." But he sent it to me, and so I was a little bit worried on that day, and but I was excited. Okay, maybe I should write a broken English email, try to convince him. And so I told him, yes, I have no experience about railway, but I really want to work. I tell him a lot of reasons. And my the manager was British, he's British. He is that kind of personality. Okay, David, you say you want the opportunity. I'll give you one chance. Okay, you come here. Then that's how I get this chance to work in Siemens. Yeah, so that's my strategy. Be transparent, be honest. You don't have, you just say you don't have, but you can tell them something else. I'm sure everything is negotiable. You tell them, you tell them you got a chance. You tell nothing, then you have no chance. Even negotiate your salary. You don't tell your manager supposed not to know. You tell them at least, or you want to get a promotion. If in the future there's an opportunity, you are the candidate. Okay, next question. Railway teams differs in different countries. Yeah. Interesting and give me some headache. Yeah. Thank you for the feedback. Work as a civil engineer before just switch to check work. No regret as long as it's something you like. Yes, exactly. As long as it's something you like. That I think to support a career in long run, we need to have motivation. In railway industry, is there some license worth getting? Yeah, some license worth getting depends. If you are in general, like where I'm working, a lot of people they tend to get a PE, professional engineer in North America, even in Europe. Okay, even in Taiwan we call it 技师. In North America, a lot of positions, even project managers, they want to hire the people who have PE. So in general, okay, if you are interested, you are engineering background. I'm engineering background, but I don't know how to do any engineering. Okay, but I don't have PE, but I can still do my job. But if you want, in general, you can apply for PE. But like my industry like railway, if you are doing signaling or railway related, in UK should be UK. There's an organization so-called IRSE. Okay, there's a UK system, kind of the certification system, where you have that organization could help you to endorse your experience, your knowledge, and you need to have a mentorship to support your experience. And normally it will be much easier for you to get a job in the railway industry. Yeah, so I'll put the terminology in the chat. Okay, so if you are interested to know. Okay, what's the next question? Thank you for interesting presentation. Thank you for your feedback. What's the most important soft skill and hard skill you recommend? Hard skill first. Hard skill, I think it's compared with soft skill is easier. I think hard skill is easier because everybody, when you have a certain experience, certain years of experience, everybody knows how to do design. If you do design for 20 years, even you are not the best designer, you know the process, you know what's the generic guideline to make a design. You are doing installation or whatever. If you are in one department for long, even you are not expert, you know how it should look like. Okay, so that's hard skill. I do not concern too much about the hard skill, but soft skill is really, I think it's not that easy. Yeah, because it's, hang on, give me 10 seconds. I need to tell something to my kids.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry. Soft skill, it's a lot of them is personality, and it's very difficult to change. Okay, but one of the key soft skill is really the communication, and another is the influence. Yeah, when I had the team, sometimes you need to respect people's personality. Yeah, you know how to do one thing from here to here. Okay, maybe from here to here for you is very easy. For me, it's very easy. But for different people, they have different way of working. Okay, so you need to really talk to them and understand what they are thinking, what's their experience, and respect how do they want to work. Use their way of working. Okay, to achieve what you want them to achieve. Okay, but sometimes it's not that easy. Okay, you need to influence. Sometimes you need to think. You need to think about their psychology. How do you influence your team to move to the positive way? Okay, so it's also a little bit experience. Yeah. So, but there's a principle you can follow. Okay, basically, no matter where are the people from, show the respect to them. Okay, respect. We are different. Okay, our age is different, our gender is different, our culture is different, our experience is different, and find the acknowledge the difference and find the common understanding and try to respect each other. I think that's and communicate, try to talk to each other and slow down the conversation. That's not very easy. Okay, and try to influence. Yeah, it's also another topic which I'm not doing very well. Okay, but we can discuss. Yeah, and in the end, okay, I said it's a principle. Okay, in the end, what do we want for about the soft skill? It's really the synergy. Okay, you have a team, maybe 5 people, 10 people. You want the synergy you want is one people plus 1 people more than 2 people. What you don't want is 1 people plus 1 people less than 2 people. Okay, so it's a synergy. Okay, so the principle I can suggest you now in this time is communication, show respect, influence, and try to understand each other more. Okay, set up one-on-one. Now, even you do not have a team, it's okay. Set up one-on-one with your coworker. Be transparent. Tell what you think. You are not comfortable. You don't like them. But just be transparent. They are wrong. They made a mistake. You can be polite. You can be diplomatic. Okay, to convey what you want to say. Okay, in order to have a better long run relationship or long-run working environment. It's not very easy, okay, but that's how I try to do for myself. And okay, the next one. I hope I answer your question. Okay, Julian Liu. And next one, Oliver, Lisa Siemens hiring history is very inspiring. Thank you. Yeah. Tattoo. Can you type any issue on here? Okay. Now I think I answered all the question in the chat. Let me check. So nobody is asked the question in the app. So any other question or feel free to talk.
Okay, about Tether, I think you have some question. Okay.
Hi, David. I'm Ted, and I essentially have two questions, but you've already answered one question of them. So, I also want to ask, so how to become a real project manager, from an engineer who can only use this technical software? How to become a real project manager? That's one my question. Yeah, and another question would be like, you will talk about you need to communicate with the people, right? And how to make this process more effectively, like, because you work from East Asia to North America, and you met different cultures, people around the world, and people have different thoughts and different mindsets. So how did you effectively communicate with them? Yeah, that's my two questions. Thank you, Debbie.
Okay, the first question, how to become project manager. I also want to know. I'm looking for to become a project manager, but I think in general, okay, to get whatever position you want, sometimes it's timing, it's opportunity. It doesn't have to be excellence. Okay, it's really the timing. Sometimes it's because okay, somebody retire or they resign or we have a new project, there's a new position, there is no other candidate and you are there, so you get the position. A lot of the scenario is like this. Okay, you are there at the right timing, so you get the position. Yeah, and if there is no position, no project, nobody is retire, no chair, and for business for company, it doesn't make sense. They create one position for you, okay, because there's no need. So essentially, when you think about what project, what position you want to get, you need to think about what's what's the demand for the business. Okay, do they need this position? Okay, they are not here to serve us. They pay us to help them. They pay us to help them to make the business operate. Yeah, so I would say it's mainly for the timing. I mean, and all what you can do is you could talk to HR, you can talk to line manager. Maybe they would not create the positions for you, but they would know you have expectation. So one day, a lot of positions before they open, they could have already they already know, okay, Ted, you want to have this. Ted told us he would like to become project manager before. So okay, now we have a position. Maybe we can give this position to Ted. Yeah, so that's all what we can do, I think, from internally. And internally to get promotion would be easier because externally you are applying for project manager position, and most important, those people, they do not know you. They don't know you. Nobody wants to take risks to hire somebody who they do not know in this kind of the strategic or critical position. Yeah, so your question number one, yeah, timing. Okay, you can ask a question, raise your expectation. Okay, and don't be shy to say this to your manager. Okay, be ambitious is not a mistake. Be ambitious. I think be ambitious would be better than you say nothing. And the question number two is the communication. Hey, do you want to say something before I answer number two?
Yeah. I'm sorry. So basically, I'm actually asking about what's the key key personality or characteristic from being a entry level engineer to a project manager, especially for coordinator. So what's the key? I just say like a skill set, or because I'm not at that stage, so I don't really know. Yeah, is it? I think that's about the communicating. So yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to ask. Yeah.
There are many different kind of project managers. Some project manager, they are technical project managers. Some project manager, they are commercial. Some project manager, they are very soft skill oriented. So I would say there is no dedicated requirement before you become a project manager. So you have your own specialty. Like myself, my own specialty is to do the planning. So if I become project manager, I would become a project planning oriented project manager. So I would say you develop your core skill first, okay, and it doesn't have to become very technical or commercial or before you become a project manager. Yeah, but to have a different skill as possible would be good. And become a project manager, normally your interface would be everybody in the project, everybody or even in the cooperate in the development department. So in general, to have the good communication skill, people understand yourself would be important. Okay, good communication is really the key before for any opportunity you would like. So that's my general response. Okay, so develop
Thank
your
you.
core skill on the communication. And do you mind to repeat one more time for your second question? You said, how do I develop my communication when I was in different regions? Was that your question?
Yeah. It's more like how to communicate more effectively. Yeah. So
Mm.
so because you have since you have work in worldwide, right? So you face different cultures, different people around the world, and different people have different thoughts. And how did you communicate effectively? That's my question. My second question. Thank you, David.
Okay, so I have two suggest. The first suggest is a practice. Second suggest is you in your co-workers, you must have someone they are very good communicators. You need to learn how to they talk to people, how to they communicate or discuss something. But in general, slow down what we talk would be helpful. And when I say practice, practice to say when we say something, okay, if there is a kid in front of me, he or she only 5 years old, are we able to explain to them and then they understand what I said? I sometimes say this to my kids, okay, they ask me, hey, Dad, what you are doing, and blah, blah, blah. And I was telling him, hey, I'm doing project planner, what's project planner? I try to tell him, try to use something simple, okay? Okay, I know it's easy for me to talk, okay, say something simple, but really implement something simple is not easy. Yeah, so it's really practice, okay, and try to observe those people who are good communicators around you, how do they talk, and in general, slow down what we talk, and try to use specific or concise wording, okay, when we talk to people. Yeah, most important is not how fast we speak English or even Mandarin or whatever language. Most important is when you say something, when we convey some message, do those people understand what we are trying to say? Do we achieve what we want to achieve? Yeah, that's my suggestion.
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah. Anything else?
Okay, I think David speaks very well, and I think he said everything that very match the real. Doing, I think, full understand and the misunderstand the thing always happen in the project.
Yeah.
So even me, India, doing the language issue or pronunciation issue always happen with me.
Mm.
So sometimes I control the meeting. I will to try think about the me full understand doing too much thing then mix together. Then I will just always one by one do a WBS to check one by one. Then we think how to do. So I think how to get a solution is very important for every project. And he said not just myself need to understand. You also need to learn everyone to understand. So you should try good communication or how to skin, maybe use a bolder type of something that everyone to understand you think. Or just like me, my maybe English level not too high, but I always to try let everyone to understand I say. So I think that David said everything and every word really very amazing. Doing his the story always match my idea and be more. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So have anyone need say any question? Okay, I think everyone have been type maybe some question or say question on the talking bus. So thank you, David, today come here. And thank you everyone during the meeting and during the speak. All right. Min, we can
Before we go, sorry.
Okay.
I have my personal information, email
Okay.
and LinkedIn. If you guys want to stay in touch, you can connect me with me through LinkedIn or send an email to me. I'm happy to stay connect with you guys. Okay, if you want to talk more, any specific topic, we can have a separate discussion. Yeah, feel free. Okay, I'm happy to meet you guys online, offline. Yeah, that's my pleasure.
Okay, if anyone have any question, please connect David. Doing I think his idea very perfect. Every item he always have some point. Give everyone have some answer. So please connect him, get some information. Thank you.